I've got that Friday feeling.
One, two, three, four, hit!
It is I, the Pumpkin, and you are watching Christopher, also known as Novabug. He has something called the Friday Foursome. Whenever it's a foursome with me, I usually like to use a stick in the asshole and a fork up the nose and use a pair of scissors. Those are the best things, but that's the only three. The fourth thing is my pumpkin-y penis. So do enjoy Christopher. Do enjoy your day. I'll see you later.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Friday Foursome. Yes, it's a week late this time and there's good reason for that. Been very busy, real life, very busy. But also I thought the Friday Foursome needs a little bit more time now, I think. Now people have got used to it, got used to the format. I don't want to put too much content out there so quickly, and everyone's doing video responses all the time and takes up all their time. I don't want to do that. I don't want it to be like a chore for them. I want it to be a pleasure for them to respond to the Friday Foursome. And so, therefore, the Friday Foursome will now revert to a 4 weekly cycle. See what I did there? Friday Foursome every 4 weeks. So the theme of 4 keeps going. So anyway, this Friday Foursome we had 13 excellent responses. Again, brilliant. I'm chuffed with that because at this point I would have thought that people would have maybe, like I was saying before, people would have got a little bit despondent over the Friday Foursome and maybe, you know, not so keen to make a response for a question that they didn't consider or care about too much. Excuse me, got to get that burp out. And but 13 responses is still excellent, and we've still got, I mean, people like Sulphur Retro, every single one he's made, what a top man. Every single Friday Foursome question so far he's responded to, which is brilliant, and there are a few others as well. Jail Sentence, it's Gaming, T-Rex Space Station, I think you've nearly done every one as well, and a few others, so brilliant. But we have 13 entries this time, and my evil nemesis in the Home and Away series, Gashead, he makes his Friday Foursome debut. Sulphur Retro, as I said, Matt. Jail Sentence, it's Gaming, as I've already said. Mike, Kit 171. Sidonia, 150. Gary, I think you've done nearly everyone as well, actually. Richard Turner, top man. Shock 16, former winner. Metropolis 86 comes in with a response. Oh God, sorry. Really, you've got to excuse my verbal stutter. Really have. T-Rex Space Station, Hellfire 64, back again, Rob. Retro Restart makes another appearance. Keith Parrish and Infected Flinch. So fantastic. So the question was, if you weren't paying attention, game franchises you would kill. Game franchises you'd stick to the back teeth of. You want them to end. It wasn't hated. You know, this wasn't necessarily your hated games, hated franchises. Just franchises you want to end. And we had some great responses and some interesting results from the answers as well. We have top of the shot for the franchise that you guys, the people, want to get rid of is Assassin's Creed, with 6 votes for Assassin's Creed to be assassinated. Closely followed by, with 5 votes, predictably Call of Duty, and poor old Sonic. I mean, I did say Call of Duty and Sonic myself, so yeah. But some interesting titles in there, interesting franchises. One person said Mario. Very brave. But anyway, we go on to the winners, and we have 4 winners. Staying with the 4 theme, we have 4 winners because 3 of them, should I say, 3 of them are joint on votes, equal on votes. They're equal on 4 votes apiece. The winner this time around is Retro Restart with 5 votes, and this is them together this time, which is great to see. And this is what franchises they wanted to kill.
So am I going to lead the way with my first one?
Oh, it depends which one you're going to say first, because you're going to say something.
I'll build up.
Really upsets me.
In light of recent news, I think it's relevant.
Okay.
Actually, because I can't decide on one of the other ones. I'll go. Okay.
You can go first, but
Okay. So my first one, I'm going to go with Assassin's Creed. I was going to go with Castlevania.
So that hurts me a little bit, but okay.
Yeah,
it's got to be controversial, so...
It doesn't have to be. This is my opinion.
Okay.
No, I was going to say Castlevania, but I think they're going to kill it themselves anyway. So
so
it's
we'll leave that one out, yeah.
So I'm going with Assassin's Creed, which was a good first game with a lot of mispromise, an excellent second game, and then kind of since then has existed in pointlessness with yearly sequels, and even though some of them might turn out to be okay, like it just feels like flogging that dead horse to try and get all that fucking money out of the franchise when they could be doing more original ideas, even with the good ideas they have. And even they came up with the okay thing of doing the Watery 1 and 4, which I thought was fairly fun. But
Black Flag we're talking.
But then they still had to feel like they needed to put in all of the Assassin's Creed-y stuff as well, all of the assassinating, obviously, and climbing and all the rest of it. And they don't really innovate much with that side of it, and it's been very stale for a while. And honestly, I don't really see where else they're going to do it. And ever since the guy, I don't know his fucking name, the French dude who was in charge of Assassin's Creed up until the point he left after Brotherhood, I think. Yeah. I think the series lost a lot of its soul. And I think it probably was already heading that way with all the extra Ezio games they were making anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I seem to I quite like the franchise, but I must admit it did start to go stale after the Ezio story kind of ended.
4 was okay, but it's still not enough to convince me that they need to be making yearly fucking Assassin's Creed.
3 blew me out the franchise completely. 4 brought me back in a bit, and I've not tried Unity yet, so that's where I'm at with that. Okay. So I'm with you. I kind of feel like. Do I have to go next?
Yeah.
Well, I've got 2 ones that I wasn't happy. I really struggled.
He doesn't want. He feels mean. Saying he doesn't want franchises to
okay, right, screw it. I'm going to start with Skylanders, okay? Because I love
specifically Spyro.
Spyro's input to Skylanders. Spyro is where Skylanders started. It's that franchise that they've stolen from.
They're still Spyro games to me.
Yeah, I get the business kind of idea behind Skylanders. It makes a fortune.
It's not our job to care about the business.
But again, as a gamer, I would rather see a Spyro game, and because I can't see a Spyro game, get rid of all of it. I'm not interested in Skylanders. I'm not spending $12.99 on a figurine to play a game. Although I do own amiibos, difference, but I like them as collectibles, not as game tools. I think losing Spyro as a franchise would benefit everyone because it would get rid of Skylanders.
Even if they were like, we're going to make a platformer now, or who's going to make it, they would do it any justice, and would it even be that good coming back to something from that era? Can you really do it justice anymore?
I think it's too far gone. They've added Spyro into Skylanders as a game. There's a Spyro version of Skylanders, I believe, and I think it's just too little too late, and I'm not buying a $12.99 figurine just to have Spyro
as well.
Yeah. Exactly, it doesn't look like Spyro, it doesn't feel like Spyro. I know the game kind of has that feel, like it's trying to feel like an old Spyro game within a game, but it just doesn't do it for me.
Doesn't do it for us. No, it's very much aimed at a younger audience.
Yeah.
But I feel like it sells to a younger audience in the way of trying to sell toys.
Yeah, I think that it's trying to push the marketing more than the video game. Yeah, that's wrong.
And I feel like the gameplay side of it's very one-dimensional, very there's not a lot of actual real fun gameplay in there, and it's another example of these big companies that treat kids like idiots, basically. Kids can play real games, young kids are able to. We all play games that we play now that are still fun and can still be challenging. Yeah, basically. Kids can play challenging games, they don't mind.
Do you want me to do my next one before you go in with the horrible gut-wrenching one, or do you want to do yours now?
Yeah, go on, you build up.
Okay, I've picked FIFA next.
I think quite a common one.
Really, it's probably going to be common out there, just because it's I'm going to go in as an outsider. I don't like football games, but that's not the reason I've picked it. I picked it because you don't need to release the same game every year.
I definitely agree.
It needs to go away or restructure its release schedule, because every year it's not needed. You could just do DLC packs. It really doesn't need to be. Just update it. It's shirts on its name on a shirt.
Ultimately, what they do is hurt the quality of the game because they don't give themselves enough time to really make a better game.
Most things that release on a yearly window need to go away.
Yeah, essentially.
FIFA is one of them.
But FIFA is like I kind of like. I still think FIFA, the core FIFA game, is quite a fun game.
Yeah.
But I haven't bought one in such a long time. But
it's just
I don't really play that anymore.
Don't sell me a game on an update of improved grass physics.
Again, it's like this corporate thing, isn't it? Like it's they cancel it every year and they cancel it for the big, money.
It makes money for a business. It's probably a good idea, but as a game, it's not. I don't care for it. Don't release something every year just because it makes a fortune. Put some heart and soul into it. So yeah, FIFA for me is.
Okay, my last one it wasn't one I was going to go with when this question was first put to the YouTube community just over a week ago. But since then, some interesting news has come to light from Konami headquarters, and it looks like Hideo Kojima will be leaving after Metal Gear Solid 5.
It doesn't sound like it's by choice either, which was the most painful thing about it.
There's definitely something going on behind the scenes, but my final choice would be the Metal Gear franchise, because I just don't want to see it. I just don't see how they could do it without Kojima. To me, those games are Kojima. It's his personality that makes them.
It's not. It wouldn't be where it is today, and it wouldn't be.
I don't want to see.
I don't want to see it.
I mean, it is happening because they've already said that they're working on a new Metal Gear that will come out, and it's obviously not like. So my fear is that it's going to become. They're going to Assassin's Creed it.
Yeah,
basically, they're try and release it. Maybe not every year. I don't know if Konami have that kind of manpower, but they'll definitely try and release them more often. And I feel like that's it. They're just going to make this really creative and unique franchise that, love or hate, you have to admit it's one of a kind, and is it is Hideo Kojima. That game is his. I don't know.
Baby.
It's his humor and I don't know, and everything.
Everything about it.
If I could trust that he had a team to pass it on to, then I would be fine. But it just seems like they're going to try. It'll probably end up going the way of something like Splinter Cell and become all I can see happening is them it becoming this third-person cover shooter game with the stealth option sort of thing, with stuff.
Much like Spyro and Skylanders, possibly. But
so I would rather see the franchise never have another entry than become just another Call of Duty, another Battlefield, another. I don't know, many things that I just are so middle of the road.
It's really sad to have that in the list, but it is kind of. I'm completely with you. If it's either with him or without him.
Well.
And if I can't have it with him, I'll have it.
There are plenty of franchises that I would say kill them off, like Call of Duty, etc. But I thought this list, I wanted to choose a bit more hard hitting because honestly, Call of Duty being released year on year doesn't really affect me. I hate them and whatever. It's the same as FIFA. Doesn't affect me. But Metal Gear, Assassin's Creed to a degree was kind of the same thing, but I didn't get as into it. But I do feel like they flogged that. But it was a good game originally. Metal Gear is one that, they say, I would rather. Also, everyone said Sonic, and I haven't seen that many videos. I'll make a point of going to look at them, and I know that Sonic's come up a lot. Oh, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Sonic Boom was shit, but
I like Sonic.
But a lot of the other 3D games have been really good. I've really enjoyed most of them. All the Sonic Team Sonic games post Sonic 06 have been good, in my opinion, and I'm sure whatever they have planned for the future will be good as well. Apart from Sonic Runners, but it's harmless.
I did toy with the idea of Sonic because we jokingly said that to kill it off before it kills itself, it's better to burn out than fade away, is it? Which they seem to be fading away and not burning out. If Sonic Adventure 2 was their last ever game, part of me think, no, okay, it went down on a high, but we're going completely off topic.
Yes,
sorry.
I feel like it's on topic slightly because
we only allow 4. We don't want to cheat again.
No, I'm not cheating. I'm saying don't kill Sonic.
Don't kill Sonic.
I have a feeling they're going to announce Sonic Adventure 3 for the 25th anniversary.
Don't, Jason. No.
I don't think it will be in any way, shape, or form the Sonic Adventure we're hoping for, but I think they might do it for the sales, for the marketing.
I hope not.
Well, it would be good if it was good.
If it was good, but it won't be. That's Sonic.
That's what I feel in my heart will happen.
We're going off topic.
Anyway, that was our 4 franchises to kill. Assassin's Creed, Skylanders, specifically Spyro, Skylanders.
and I don't even
FIFA and
want to say
Gear.
Metal Gear.
So
It can't be.
So they were a advocate for saying that Assassin's Creed's got to go. Skylanders, interesting. Spyro in particular. So I put it as Skylanders and not the Spyro series. So fair enough. FIFA, of course. Metal Gear Solid. Ooh, no, not yet. Not quite yet. I mean, it's borderline, isn't it? I think Retro Restart guys there, borderline. But again, good answers and great to see the two of them together, responding on the Friday Foursome. Now, the three guys that equal on votes are a former winner. Oh yes, a new entrant. Oh yes, and I'm reading my writing here, so I'm being... Oh, two new entrants, sorry. And one of them new entrants is Metropolis86 with his choices.
Okay, so this is a very hard question. I have been thinking about it for a few days now. I could only think of two initially, but I do have my foursome. Right, so let's get into it then. Which one do... Right. The first franchise I'd stop would be Little Big Planet. Now, the only reason for this is you've got 3 great games, and you've got a load of content, community content. You can create your own levels, and you've got like never-ending content from online to download, play. You know, the possibilities are endless. So I don't think there's a need for any more Little Big Planet games. Like Little Big Planet 3, I mean, on PS4. Good game. Story though is so short, and I just got me thinking, would it be just better just having extra packs to download all the time, or something like that, you know, or just play user-generated levels? So yeah, I'd stop the Little Big Planet franchise because I think what we got is enough, which is kind of the theme for most of my games, yeah. Right. For number 2, this might be controversial among people. I'm gonna say Street Fighter. Now, awesome series, awesome games, but how many times do they bring out special editions, or, you know, UK edition, this edition's super edition? I mean, it's all the time. Like, I think they got a new Street Fighter coming out maybe this year or next year, or did I make that in my head? I don't know. See, there's that many Street Fighter games, and the same as Little Big Planet, I think we're good with what we've already got. I mean, you know, I played Street Fighter on, I think it was the Mega Drive growing up, and, you know, Chun-Li, Blanca, and that was great, all that stuff, you know? So if they bring out another one, they'd have to be really, really good, you know, off shots. I mean, Street Fighter 4 was good, but it's just all the additions they bring all the time. I think that could be anything now. I think it could stop. Okay, so there we go. Gonna save my biggest controversial topic for last. Right. Franchise I'd kill off number 3 happens to be an RPG called White Knight Chronicles. Now, I'm a big RPG lover, and this game is a very good game. I really enjoy it. I mean, the characters I thought were cool, and it's not the hardest game in the world. It's not the longest either, I don't think. But yeah, they decided to bring out a sequel to it. And that game, to me, totally sucked. Basically, because the first one wasn't so hard, they decided to increase the difficulty on the second one by tenfold. And it was just a horribly frustrating game to play. I managed to finish it a day before my PlayStation 3 crashed and I lost all my data. I can imagine what I would have done if I had not finished that last boss on that last day. Whew. But yeah, sometimes like they would take a character away because he got injured in the main story or something, and then bring him back a few hours later or something. You've leveled up all your other characters, but of course, because you haven't used this character, he's not leveled up. And they'd expect you to win a very hard boss fight with this unleveled character, and it's just in a row, and it's just horrible. And a lot of it, the world, you went to the same places. It just seemed like, I don't know, same old thing. But I'm saying this game because at the end of the second one, it says to be continued, and I'm like, no, do not want a third one. So kill off White Knight Chronicles. Just keep the first game. That's great. Right, for my fourth one, the franchise I would kill off would be Assassin's Creed. Now, okay, the first game I didn't enjoy so much, I thought it was quite repetitive. Then when you have the second game series of Ezio and Brotherhood and etc., I thought that was really, really good. I enjoyed those games fine. Then I picked up Assassin's Creed 3. Horrible main character, I couldn't get on with him. Otherwise, the next game was crap. And what got me about Assassin's Creed, I used to enjoy it, but there's just so many glitches. I mean, was there like Rogue or Unity or something recently? Forgive me, because I haven't played any since the third. But, you know, Ubisoft, they bring out these games every year. And I just find, I don't know, I just think every year is a bit too soon, a bit tiresome. I mean, I know they say these games are in production for years, but are they? And, yeah, they probably are actually. I don't know, why release a game where you know there's so many glitches in it? Like, a lot of the missions, they're just repetitive. Now, I've never played Black Flag, and I feel that's pretty good, so I'm not judging the series on that or any future titles, apart from what I've heard from other people. So, yeah, Assassin's Creed. I kind of, after playing the third one, it was interesting, you know, I can't remember what it was. The American history, like the Civil War, that kind of thing, and like Paris sounds interesting and all this, and London would be interesting, yeah. But I wouldn't necessarily kill the franchise. I would stop it for a while, take a step back, iron out all the creases, all, you know, the jumping, the glitching, the hanging in midair kind of thing, the stumbling when you're running across rooftops, and just, I don't know, look at the missions, try and get something fresh. Don't get me wrong, they are good games, but I just think 1 year is a bit too much. Just take it back, wait a couple of years, develop an awesome one, you know, the best, you just really put everything into it, and then, yeah, I'd happily take Assassin's Creed back. Saying that, I might just try the fourth one now anyway, but it was the third one that put me off buying any more. So yeah, that's it. That is my entry into the Friday Foursome. Hope you enjoyed it.
Now, Little Big Planet? Matt, really? Little Big Planet? I'm not sure that's even... I mean, it's been going for a while, but I think there's a lot more to explore in Little Big Planet myself, but fair enough, that's everyone's opinion. And Street Fighter, well, you know, I can understand his stance on Street Fighter. It has been going for a long time, and there's so many different variations of it. Still going and still plodding along. And yeah, another vote for Assassin's Creed there. So thank you very much for that, Metropolis. And thirdly, can't count. Thirdly, again on 4 votes, is another new entrant, which is, again, like I said, my nemesis on the Home and Away series, Gassid.
Alright guys, so this is going to be my first entry for Novabug's Friday Foursome, and he's brought up quite a relevant topic, that is what gaming franchises would you kill off? Would you stop? Do you feel the sort of ran to the end of its lifespan as such? There's a couple. It's going to be quite controversial. I'm at work, that's why I've got wobbly cam. My first entry would be Mortal Kombat. Now, for me, Mortal Kombat, there's been a few very good games, obviously on the Mega Drive when it first came to light, Mortal Kombat. I just think it's been done. I just think, you know, I don't think the format works very well no more. I think they should nip it in the bud. What was the Mortal Kombat on the PS3? I think that was rather good, but I just think that was kind of the pinnacle. And for me, it's always been kind of a poor man's Street Fighter, if that makes sense, if that rings true to anybody else. So, first one would be Mortal Kombat. I am reading it down there. The second one I choose would be, I think a lot of people's going to go for this, which would be Gears of War. Now, I love 1, I'd love 2, love 3, enjoyed Judgment. But I just think, again, I think 1 and 2 were very good. 3 was okay. Judgment was alright. And I just think, you quit while you're ahead. And it just seems that it's 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 3, Judgment, and you just, God knows what's going to come out. So either reboot it or be done with it completely. So the third one would be Killzone. Killzone 3, I think it was very, very good. But none of the others really interest me at all, if I'm totally honest with you. Certainly not the one on the PS4. That was poor. Sorry, it was poor. The next one really is a poor man's Call of Duty, and that's Medal of Honor. I think that's always been a poor man's Call of Duty. I think the storylines are very similar. Obviously, they've tried to go the different route, but I just think hands down it loses to Call of Duty all the way. So that's my four picks for Novabug.
He goes for a like a lot of two first person shooters in there. You've got obviously MOH, Medal of Honor, and Killzone. Not had much experience on either of them, so I can't really comment on that. Mortal Kombat, I do agree with, does have to go. I think Mortal Kombat really does have to finish now. I agree with his sentiments on Mortal Kombat. So, again, good choices, nice explanations as well. Nice and short and sweet there, Steve. Well done. That's what we like. And finally, the fourth winner, as we were, of votes, is former winner, Adam, Mr. Shock 16, and these are the franchises that he wants to give the elbow.
So yeah, franchises you'd like to kill, like ones that have probably run the course and you'd like to just get rid of. So, I've wrote 4 down. The first one is, The Sims. I like The Sims back in the day. I used to play it on PC. Probably one of the few handful of PC games that I've actually played. But yeah, I've got a couple on PlayStation 2 as well. And they're alright, but yeah, it's just like expansion pack after expansion pack, innit? Take The Sims to the park, take The Sims to the mall, take The Sims to the fun fair, take The Sims to the Playboy Mansion. Do you know what I mean? There's only so many places you can take The Sims. And yeah, The Sims is just The Sims. It's, a Sim needs to go for a shit, take it to the toilets. A Sim needs to, I don't know, go to work, shove it out the door. Sim needs to go to bed, take it to fucking bed, do you know what I mean? And it's just the same shit over and over again, rinse, repeat. Just in a new location. So yeah, The Sims, I think, do you know what I mean? People that play The Sims, and gets every single pack, I mean, I'm not going to say that, do you know what I mean, you're mental, you are a bit mental, but surely you must be getting a bit bored of it by now, do you know what I mean? So yeah, The Sims, I think it's kind of run its course. Don't really think it earns its place in today's world of gaming. So yeah, get rid of The Sims, fuck it off. I have enjoyed them in the past, but yeah, it's run its course. So number 2, probably a controversial one coming right up now, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, to me, Sonic the Hedgehog lost its way a long time ago. I don't think, since the first 3 on the Mega Drive, probably Sonic and Knuckles, there's only been the odd Sonic game that's been alright, I think, do you know what I mean? And even Sonic fans, even the biggest of Sonic fans would probably agree with me that there's only been a handful, if that, of good Sonic games or playable Sonic games since those first few on the Mega Drive and that. Because, yeah, shit, I mean, Sonic Generations, that was alright, but Sonic games, he just hasn't got the memento no more, which is odd because he's a fast little fucker, but yeah, he can't keep up. So he can't keep up in today's gaming market. Lost his way, that little hedgehog has. So as far as I'm concerned, do you know what I mean? Let Sonic go and be remembered for his glory days. You know what I mean? Let him be remembered as the awesome mascot he once was, and not the sad sack of shit that he's become. So yeah, fuck Sonic off. Next, Assassin's Creed. Now, sorry, bad camera work. My arm's aching though. Oh, right. So yeah, Assassin's Creed. Now I'm a sucker for these games. I've got everyone since like the first. Well, I'm not everyone. Like I didn't get the one that was on PSP and stuff like that. But basically 1, 2, 3, Brotherhood, Revelations, Black Flag, and I'll probably end up getting Unity as well. But at the end of the day, it's the same fucking game. Just change the protagonist, give you set it in a different era, but it's the same thing. There's only so much stuff you can do with Assassin's Creed. The missions are always the same, always the same. It's like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. Get a lot of flack because it's like you drive here, you go there. But at least Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that will give you, I don't know, they'll try and mix it up with what you've got to do. Like the way you drive to a place or the way you take a mission. At least to try and switch it up, where it is Assassin's Creed, it is basically just follow this guy, hear what this guy's doing. Do you know what I mean? Creep around this guy, assassinate this guy. And they don't really mix up the way you have to do it. And so yeah, it's just the same fucking thing. It's rinse and repeat. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of like addicted to these games. So even if they're not going to kill it off just because the franchise is a bit outdone now, then kill it off just to save my bank balance, because I splash my cash on these games. And I don't know why, because it is basically just the same game every time, but just with a new setting. They look great, they play great, but it's just the same shit. It's just the same shit over and over again. So the fourth and final one is probably another controversial one, but for me, Resident Evil. Sack it off. Just get rid of it. For me, after the third one, Resident Evil lost its way. It lost the atmosphere. For me, the first 3 games, and do you know what I mean? Those old like tank controls, and it just had a certain atmosphere. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if you go back and play it now, it's like them old kind of PlayStation graphics and stuff like that, and the way it moved, the clunky like kind of movements, it just added to the atmosphere for me. And like everyone since then, it just hasn't got the atmosphere, and they've kind of made it a bit more action packed, so to speak. So yeah, it's kind of lost its thing. Resident Evil to me was kind of like an atmospheric kind of horror kind of game, and now it's kind of, it's lost its way. I think Resident Evil's had its day. Either reboot it or just get rid of it. It's kind of like the films, do you know what I mean? Like the Resident Evil films. I think the games have gone in that kind of way. You should just fucking sack them off. Get rid of them before it gives Resident Evil a bad name, do you know what I mean? Because Resident Evil, like, people from my era, do you know what I mean, of gaming will remember it as a good series, but people that are getting into it now will probably just think Resident Evil is nothing special, whereas to us lot that played the originals and grew up with the originals will know that it started off as an awesome franchise. So yeah, get rid of it. So there you go, that was my 4. So what do we have? The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, Assassin's Creed, and Resident Evil. That's my Friday Foursome.
Again there, see, Adam highlights Assassin's Creed and Sonic again. 2 winners, really. Winners? Not really winners, are they? They're losers, as it were, of franchises we want to get rid of. Resident Evil. Again, I'm on the fence with Resident Evil. I'm not sure whether they can save it. I'm not sure whether it's got any future. But I'm not prepared to sort of like give it the heave-ho yet. So, but yeah, those are the 4 winners of this last Friday Foursome. You know what I mean. Anyway, so thank you very much, guys, and thank you everyone for the responses again on the Friday Foursome. It's been absolutely fantastic. Brilliant watching everyone. The opinion is just brilliant. Different opinion on things is great. 1664. So, fantastic. Like I said, now, there will be a month gap from this question to the next Friday Foursome. And this one I am going to now open out to, say, beyond the gaming community a bit. So you don't necessarily have to be embroiled with games and gaming to answer this question. So it's more of a broader topic, but in the sort of same vein, in the same sort of region. And that is the 4. This is interesting. the 4 bits of tech that you miss the most. Now, I want to say that. I don't mean anything that's still, say, not in production anymore. I don't particularly mean anything that is relevant anymore. It can be anything you want. It could be still relevant in the modern world. It could be completely irrelevant or superseded by something else, upgraded, if you will. But when thinking back when you were growing up in your early days, maybe in your 20s, 30s or whatever, and bits of tech that you thought were fascinating, were fantastic back then, and you missed them. You missed them being around on a common day-to-day basis, that kind of thing. So we're not going for stuff that's not obsolete. You could do. You can go for stuff that's obsolete if you want. I'm going for a couple of things like that. My choices are... The first choice would be an old school vinyl jukebox. I loved seeing them in pubs and bars and stuff, and the mechanics of it, the arm coming in and taking out the vinyl record, flipping it over, putting the stylus coming down. I just loved all that. I just thought that was an engineering piece of marvelled at that. And of course it got superseded by CDs and ultimately MP3s and everything else by now. But at the time, it was incredible to see that, all these records lined up in this magical box that slid these things out. Because at the time, I mean, record players were fiddly things at home as well. You know, you'd piss around with the stylus and piss around with the arm and the counterbalance and everything. But when you saw one of them working, it was just... I loved them. I loved them. And you very rarely see them nowadays, which is a bit of a shame, because obviously vinyl is a dead format in many respects. It still exists, of course it does, but in many respects it's a dead format. So that's my first choice. My second choice is, well, obvious this is, just traditional arcade cabinets. We don't see enough of them anymore. I mean, modern arcades are so few and far between now because of the, you know, the advances in home gaming and mobile gaming. Arcades are now very much on the bottom line, which is a pity because I grew up in the arcade heyday. Which was just, you know, there was arcades on every street corner, and outside a sweet shop and in a toy shop and in the leisure centres and everything. And now what do we get? I mean, we get a few fruit machines. Well, they don't count at all, and maybe a few dancing machines, a few light gun gallery shooters, and that's really it. That's really all we get. A few driving games as well, of course. But they're not traditional arcades, are they? They're not just a standalone, one unit, traditional stick, buttons, bang, off you go. Then you don't get them much anymore, and I do miss seeing them. I miss the experience of the arcades as a whole. So, yeah, I do miss them. Sorry, I had to do a bit of a cut. bit of a cut. Some noise upstairs. That's what you get when you have a family. Anyway, third item I miss, and this is more of a visual thing. Again, like the jukebox, it's the CD changer, but the big CD changer that you would get in your homes, which had like a great big panel. You'd put all your CDs in, and it was like it was a Bang & Olufsen one, I think, and it would slide down, and the CD would slide out. It's just so cool back then, and I think it's still cool now. And because everything is so compressed and tiny and miniature nowadays, and everything goes unseen, it's invisible, isn't it? Technology nowadays is invisible. It's all in tiny little black boxes or tiny little white boxes here and there, tucked away, something within something else, and it never has that great grandeur of a show like that does. The CD changer, and all that kind of stuff. Sounds ridiculous, but it's just something I loved. I loved watching that and seeing that. Thinking, oh, look at the way it's moving, fantastic. And of course the car ones as well. You still get them, but not on the scale of that. You don't see them on the scale of that anymore, and something I would like to see back again. But of course it's kind of obsolete with modern technology. And the final thing I miss, like technology thing I miss, is this is going to go, it's kind of tenuous, this link. I mean, it is technology technically, because the word Technic is in the title. And that was old Technic Lego. Before they changed it, before Lego changed the design of Technic Lego, they made it into a sort of Meccano-ish kind of, a plastic Meccano kind of thing recently, over the last 10 years or so. But the old Technic Lego, which was based around proper original Lego, just with the special parts, I loved it. I loved that old Technic Lego, and you don't get it anymore. But I mean, how expensive does it go for now? I had the sports coupe, the giant sports car, and I think if you search on eBay now, it's worth a lot of money if it's boxed and brand new and complete. And you don't get Technic Lego like that. Technic Lego now is, like I said, it's like a glorified Meccano kind of thing with the Lego brand on it and plastic in. There's all special parts. Lego generally has gone that way anyway, hasn't it? With all very special bespoke parts made for it. But back then, you could actually create with Lego. You really had to use your imagination, and then Technic Lego gave you that opportunity to create a little bit more. And that's probably what I miss about that Technic Lego. I mean, I had so many fun times with the I had a huge, like I said, a huge Technic Lego set, and it was such a great memory and fantastic. And yeah, want to see that back. Lego, bring that back. You can bring it back. You can have the new Technic Lego, and you can bring out classic Technic Lego. You know, a bit like classic Coco, something like that. Anyway, that's the Friday Foursome for this month. Now I can say month. Well, 13 monthly, 4 weekly. So, what bits of tech do you miss? Anything you want. This is an open playing field. So anybody isn't even into gaming, you can answer this. Go for it, please do. I look forward to seeing your responses. Again, as always, I will post them in my Facebook for your votes to be counted. Remember, everyone, make sure to vote for your favourite video on my Facebook, which is a link down there. Also, I'll just get that frog in my throat out. Don't know where that came from. But also, of course, link me to your video so I could do that. Put it in the description box or message me on Facebook. Look forward to hearing your responses. Thank you again for watching the Friday Foursome number 5, and I will see you very soon. Novabug out. Friday Foursome out.